Okay, welcome to the Mace. This is kind of a puny mace because it doesn't have any like metal like spikes sticking out of it to kill you, but that's good. This is an awesome mace. This is made by Stronger Grip, and they are an incredible company. They're the best mace makers. These are loadable maces, and so you can unscrew this, and then you can put in a shot, and it makes it heavier, and you can swing it around. I took it out just so that it wasn't going to make any noise for a shoot. But these are a lot of fun, and you swing these basically just like you swing the clubs. However, the weight is all centered down here at the end, so that actually gives you a little bit more leverage, and it makes it a little bit easier to swing, surprisingly, once you get the handle of it. So here's a typical swing. So you'll notice I turn to the right. Now if we zoom all the way out and I give you a couple, I'll give you a couple different ways you can do your footwork. I can come over onto the left and then come to the right. So when I land, my elbow's here, I'm in shoulder pack, I've got my right hand holding it, and I'm on, all my weight's on my right leg. I also could just leave the weight on my right leg and swing like this. So in this case, I've got like 90% of the weight on my right leg. Where it really comes into play is when you take two maces. And so the cool thing about these is that you can load these up, so you can add 2 pounds. And adding 2 to 5 pounds is a lot more force because you're adding it all at the end. And so it's kind of nice because you can, as your strength builds, then you can add more and more weight to these. So I come up into neutral. Notice that my position that I hold it in, I angle just very slightly towards me, and it makes it so that I can hold it pretty in a pretty relaxed way. Now if I want to let them go, see how I just let it slide down and then kind of nice and neutral. The thing is you can get in trouble with these, and the one thing that can happen as I set this down is you can be swinging it and somehow the club can get, instead of being in a tight circle, your hand can get out here and it can fall down. If you're in a situation where you're in bad biomechanics, if you engage all of your shoulder muscles, you can bring it down like this and let it drop, or just relax and let the heavy weight just fall down. And I've actually, in the process of figuring out how to do this, you'll make a lot of mistakes, but if you really have really good shoulder biomechanics, really strong rotator cuffs, you can avoid injuries like crazy by being strong and being able to stabilize your shoulder in a bad position. And ultimately, all of this training is preparing you to be able to train and do the things that you do your sports, do yoga, and not get injured. But all of those fields are full of injuries from people who get into it without the strength. And so beware when you start these to go lighter than you would think. So this is what they call a short mace. Now here's a longer mace. Now I can take a longer mace. I have to zoom out a little bit. I may need to create a little space here. And let me tell you that it's critical to focus on safety as you're doing this, because, and this can be a great reminder for you, because these are weapons. I mean, the mace is a weapon, and you can seriously damage someone. Whenever I'm doing this, I generally like to do this when there's not people around, but if there are, or I'm teaching, I constantly have my eye in every direction, and I have a little bit of a 3D perception going on, because people are space cadets in life. It just boggles the mind, and people will try to walk right into this. God knows why. But by being focused, you prevent injuries there. And I've never had an injury, but I've certainly seen people try to hurt themselves. So here's the heavy, longer mace. And so you can see the longer mace you can swing in the same manner that you swing the shorter maces. Now I'm 6'2", and so this thing comes, it doesn't come to my sternum, it comes just a little bit above the belly button. But when I swing it, you can see that it's behind the knee. The thing that you want to just beware of is if you're depending on your height, you don't want to swing this and have it hit the ground, because that's a lot of force back there. The other thing is that you don't want to hit your knees, and that's certainly going to happen, but if you're in kind of the right biomechanics, so notice turn to the right, so I'm constantly very subtle movements in this range. These are incredible instruments. I've shown you basically how to swing the mace with one hand. In the next segment, we're going to show you how to swing the mace with two hands.